Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Today I'm going to be doing some fall vibe acrylic nails on my Veeda Bella practice hand. So what I'm doing now is just grabbing my cuticle pusher and I'm going to go in between the natural nail of the practice hand and try to remove that nail that's on top. So I'm going to gently push that cuticle pusher in between the two nail sets, and I'm just going to split them apart and kind of just pull it off gently. And I'm going to be doing that to the rest of the nails. So I'm trying to be as gentle as I can. I do not want to go under the natural nail of the practice hand because I did accidentally do that and the ring finger and the middle finger, so I was able to see the skin attaching to the nail and almost rip off. So you have to be very careful and make sure you are going in between those two nail tips. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm basically going to remove the last nail set I practiced on this realistic practice hand. Alright you guys, so like I said, I'm just going to remove this nail set, and I'm just going in between the nail bed of this practice hand and remove that set that I did on top. And then this sticky layer, I'm just going to remove it to put a new layer on top, so that I just wanted to show you guys how the nail tip is still attached to the nail bed. So I'm just going to leave that there, and now I'm just going to pop this off because it's getting on the way, and I can easily just stick it back together with this Valentino glue I use. So you guys, I'm just going to clean the nail bed of this practice hand just by removing the glue that's on top. It's just basically this, sticky layer. I'm just going to remove it with my cuticle pusher and then just add a new tape on those nail beds. So now I'm just gonna grab my AC tape that came in my kit that I purchased, and now I am just basically putting it sideways. And Veeda did say V did say to make sure you don't add too much of that sticky layer, so just put like a small amount, and you also have to put it sideways. So I am just going to attach that to the nail beds, and then once I'm done doing that, then I'm just going to press on it. So you got to make sure that you really press onto that tape so that sticky layer can adhere to the nail bed of your practice hand. Alright, and now that I'm done sticking that easy tape to the nail beds, I'm going to just press on it and kind of just like give it a little massage so that sticky layer can adhere to the nail beds. And then when I'm done doing that, I'm going to grab a pair of tweezers and kind of just remove that paper off. So make sure that you're very gentle with those tweezers. You don't want to poke on the fingers or the nail beds because this hand is super sensitive, you guys. I actually just realized that on the thumb, I don't know if you can see it like right now. If you look at the thumb, there's this metal piece that's like, sticking. It's not sticking out yet, but I was trying to get a good picture at the end of the video, and the metal piece just ripped out of the nail pocket. So I was just like, Jesus, I literally just bought this hand. So be super careful. Please don't move your fingers all over the place. So yeah, just be super careful, you guys, because this was $189 and my thumb just is kind of messed up. I tried to glue it like the thumb back, but that didn't work. Alright, you guys, now I am going to install my second set of nail tips, and I am just I literally wrote the number that fits each nail bed from sidewall to sidewall. So P1, I wrote P for pinky, and a 1 is the first, time I add the nail tip to the practice hand. And then the second time I just go from there. So I just put a 8 on the pinky, because on the instruction it says to put a nail on the second time to add a one size up. So now I am just grabbing a size up and making sure that you stick it in backwards into the cuticle pocket. And for some reason this I guess it depends how you have your fingers. Like if it's a little bit up, I think the nail fits right into the cuticle pocket, but sometimes it just, I don't know, I guess I have to get the hang of it. Like I pushed it in and it wouldn't go in there, so I just left the nail like that, which is okay. It's completely fine because I can always cut it. So now I'm just going to work on my middle finger. So I put M1, and now I'm going to at the second nail tip. So I always I want to go a nail up, a size up, and I got to make sure that you have the right nail tip, because the nail tips kind of move around when you have them in the box. And like I said, if your nail doesn't go all the way inside the cuticle pocket, it's fine. You can always trim it. So yeah, you guys, I mean, so far this hand is okay, other than when I was trying to take a picture and the metal part inside the thumb kind of just stuck out, and you're not really it wasn't like a huge cut, but still it was $189. So yeah, now I am just grabbing the other set of nail tips and kind of just placing it inside the cuticle pocket, and then just try to be gentle with it because you don't want to damage this hand. Alright, so now I'm just grabbing my clippers, and this is a straight nail clipper. I'm going to trim that ring finger that wouldn't quite go inside the cuticle pocket. So I'm just going to gently trim it. Make sure you don't grab the skin from the practice hand. I mean, this is a practice hand, so what the hell, you have to be very gentle. Either way, you got to be gentle with it, and I'm just going to file it so it won't be super sharp. Alright, so now I am going to, so this is where the real practice begins, you guys. Now I am grabbing my e-file, and I am just going to gently file around the cuticle area just to remove the shine. So if you're a beginner, I really do highly recommend that you start using your hand as a practice hand for a lot of reasons. The number one reason for me was that if you're like, let's just say you get a practice hand, the practice hand is not going to tell you if you're hurting it, if you're twisting the finger too hard, it's not going to tell you any of those things. So it's just better to use your hand as a practice hand for a little bit, and once you kind of get the hang of it, then you can go into using a practice hand. But that's what I did, and I'm so glad I did do that. So after I'm done removing the shine from all the fingers, I'm going to go ahead and use my honey fan nail glue, and then just kind of add one drop and smear it near the edge. And then I am going to grab my nail tip and just put it on top of the glue, and make sure your nail tip fits from sidewall to sidewall. That's not really too hard, you guys. Make sure the nail tip is not hanging from the sides. If it is, then your nail is too big, and if it's too small, just grab the one that fits the best from sidewall to sidewall. You can always file it down if it's too big. If it's too small, then it's more likely gonna pop off. So make sure you get the right nail tip that fits from sidewall to sidewall. Alright, then another thing, you don't want to add too much glue, because if you add too much nail glue, it'll be all over your cuticles and you'll be able to tell at the end of the video or at the end of the set. Make sure you only add at least 1 drop, or maybe even 2, but not more than 2. Then you'll have glue all over your nails and all over your cuticles, so you don't want that. And also sometimes when I first started my nails, I wouldn't leave my, like, I would end up with like cricket nails. Sometimes that might happen, but I realized that my fingers, how can I explain it? So whenever you grab somebody's finger, make sure it's nice and straight. I know sometimes not everybody has like straight fingers. Like my index finger is not as straight, so I would always have a hard time with that finger. So make sure you grab the finger nice and straight and the nails nice and straight, and then you'll have a straight set. Alright, you guys, so I purchased this from Amazon, and I believe it was $8 plus the shipping, and it's Odor Out Strawberry, and it says to add 3 drops into your monomer. And I am going to be using this Emma monomer from Kiara Sky, so hopefully this really helps with that monomer smell. And I also bought this Modelones acrylic, clear acrylic, and it's 4.2 ounce for $8 and I believe 49 cents, which is super cheap, you guys. I wanted to buy the Mia Secret clear acrylic, but I found this one and it was a lot cheaper, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. So yeah, you guys, and I'm also going to be using their Modelones gel nail polish that I purchased like 2 years ago. Alright, so let's get straight to it. And now I'm just going to be dropping the strawberry odor out into my monomer. So I am going to be using this acrylic Kolinsky brush size 16 from Honeyfan's website, and this brush is pinched. So now I am just going to add 3 drops. It does say to add 3 drops into the monomer, and hopefully this reduces the strong smell of monomer. So there's 1, 2, 3. All right, you guys, let's see if this works or not. I'll let you know at the end of the video. All right, you guys, I do apologize for the noise. So what I'm doing now is just I'm going to grab a medium bead, and I am just going to place it on the nail tip, and I am just going to gently just pat it down and just trying to get it back in place and slowly pat it down. And once I feel that it's nice and even, I am just going to brush it downwards. Alright, you guys, so I did realize that this acrylic was a bit runny, but it was not so bad. The only thing that I have heard is that whenever you drop these drops into the monomer, it might leave the acrylic runny. So I don't know if it was because of the drops or not. So I'm gonna have to find that out later. But so far I am liking it. It does kind of give me the Mia Secret kind of vibes. It is not as clear as I was hoping for, but I mean, it's totally worth it. $8 for 4.2 ounces, not bad. So yeah, you guys, I am just simply going to grab another medium bead and kind of just place it on top of the first bead, and then kind of just, you know, gently pat it down. Make sure my acrylic brush is not sticking onto that acrylic, and if it is, I'm going to wipe that down and then kind of just dip my acrylic into the monomer. So I'm just patting it down, make sure everything is nice and even, trying to just make everything nice and straight. And once I feel that everything's nice and even, then I'm just going to brush it downwards to kind of just mix in the first bead with the second bead. Alright, so now that I feel comfortable with the uh, end of my nail tip, I am going to grab a small bead and place it near the cuticle area, kind of like a hair length away from the cuticle area. And then I'm just quickly going to brush it downwards because I feel like this acrylic was kind of getting out of control near the cuticle area because it was runny. But it's completely normal, I think, because of the drops, like I said before. But I realized that I needed to add more acrylic near the cuticle, so I added another small bead. And then I'm just going to show you how I do it with one finger because I do not want to take much of your time. And then I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, now that I'm done laying my acrylic, I'm going to show you how I file with my hand file from sidewall to sidewall. And I'm also going to be showing you how to e-file, how I e-file. So I'm just grabbing my hand file, and I'm also going to be grabbing the finger very nice and gentle and firm. And I gotta make sure that I press onto the hand file, so I'm filing all the nail from the side, if that makes any sense. So the more so if you add more pressure onto a certain part, you're going to be filing more onto that side. So since this is a long square nail, I want to file everything the same, so I'm trying to add the same pressure from sidewall to sidewall with my hand file. And I'm also making sure that I file under the nail because acrylic sometimes does tend to fall to the sides, so you gotta make sure you file under the nail. Alright, so now I am grabbing my e-file and filing around the cuticle area, and I basically count in my head like 1 2 3 1 2 3, and once I count to 3, I move the e-file from that area because I don't want to burn my hand or the practice hand, because this is a practice hand. So you gotta think that, you know, in your head that you're dealing with the real hand, so that whenever you do somebody's nails, you don't burn them or cut them. So after I'm done e-filing around the cuticle area, I go ahead and file downwards, like vertically. And if I see any lumps or bumps, I just simply turn my finger around, or I always look at my finger from like the sides and make sure everything's nice and even. And if I see that it's not nice and even, then I go ahead and file again. And once I feel that my nail is all nice and smooth, I go ahead and work on the next finger. And I also just want to show you guys how sometimes the finger, the nail is not even. It might, look smooth, but when you look at it from the bottom down, um, you're able to see how uneven it is from the tip. So if once, you file it and make sure you even everything out, then I think, that's good enough. And then after that, I go ahead and hand file the sidewalls again, because once you e-file, it kind of loses shape. And now I am turning my hand around and into the client's perspective. Make sure everything's nice and even, and I do apologize for the noise. Yeah, you guys, so I do apologize for all the noise, but I am recording late, and it's either that or I would have to wait like another day to record. So I'm kind of just trying different times and just trying to work with my schedule, and I really, really do apologize. But after I'm done doing that to all of the nails, all right, then after that, I'm going to get all my stuff ready, and then I'll be right back. So I'm going to grab a small layer of this glossy top coat, and I gotta really make sure this is not too thick, because if it's too thick, then since I'm gonna add some colors on top of this gel, if it's too thick, then it'll just run all over the place. So now I am just going to get the colors that I am going to be working with and kind of just dump them on top of this not polished diamond. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing is grabbing this brush, and then I am just, basically just grabbing a little small portion of the color I want to be using first. I really don't have any steps for this. I kind of was just doing it randomly. So it just depends on, how you're feeling and what colors you want to use, and just kind of play with the gel. So like I said, when you add the top coat, the clear top coat, don't add too much top coat, because once you lay that gel on top of that top coat, your gel, don't do that, your gel can kind of spread all over if you use too much. So be very gentle when you add your first top coat, and you do not want to cure it yet. Nothing's cured right now. I just added my top coat, and now I am just adding these colors on top. And now that I feel like comfortable with that, I'm going to kind of just mix it in together and kind of just give it that chocolatey fall leaf vibes that I want it. So I'm not using any acetone to clean my brush. I'm just simply grabbing a napkin and kind of just cleaning that brush with it. So it just depends on how you like it, what your style is. If you want to use more pink or other colors, you can just go ahead and kind of play with it. And then from there, I went ahead and cured my finger for about 30 seconds. And then I went ahead and did the same to the rest of the fingers. All right, you guys, so you got to make sure that on the sides you also add nail polish. You don't want to have the sides clear, then it will look kind of weird. So I mean, if you like it like that, then that's fine, but just make sure that you don't leave any like clear spots. So I hope you guys like my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really do apologize for the noise, but it's either that or I don't record, or yeah, you guys. So yeah, you guys, I wouldn't say this is a marble look, because it kind of doesn't look like a marble, so I don't want to call it that. So once I'm done mixing all these colors in, I go ahead and cure that for about 30 seconds, and then I go ahead and work on my next finger. Let me know if you're still here. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not new, drop a comment. so now I'm just going to use this matte Beetles top gel, and I am going to use this one for all my fingers except for the ring finger. For the ring finger, I'm going to leave it glossy because I did add some glitter on that finger, so I thought it would look better if I left it glossy.